that the Lieutenant Governor of the province has ordered the case to be dropped. Later on in June, the Lieutenant Governor, Sir Edward Gate, summoned Gandhiji, and after having 4 protracted meetings with Gandhi, he appointed an official commission of inquiry into the situation. Gandhiji was the sole representative of the peasants in the commission. The evidence against the landlords were overwhelming. They asked Gandhi how much they should pay. They thought Gandhiji would demand full repayment of the money which they had taken from the sharecroppers. But Gandhiji asked for only 50%. The landlords offered to refund 25%. And it was very surprising that Gandhiji agreed to the 25% of refund. He explained that the amount of the refund was not important. What mattered was that the landlords were obliged to surrender part of the money and with it part of their prestige. Earlier, the planters behaved as lords above the law, but after this incident, the peasants saw that they had rights and persons to defend them. After this incident, they learned courage. So, these poor people, they came to know about the injustice done by the British landlords, and now they dare to oppose the British authorities. They dared to stand against their injustice. In this way, the peasant learned courage. So, now we will start from here only. We read up to this. Therefore, as far as the peasants were concerned, the planters had behaved as lords above the law. Now the peasant saw that he had rights and defenders. He learned courage. Now, see from here, events justified Gandhiji's position. Events, it means whatever happened in Champaran, whatever the incidents happened there, those events, those incidents justified Gandhiji's position in India among the poor people. Within a few years, the British planters abandoned means left, chhod dena, their estates. Estates means large area, fields you can say, which reverted means given back to the peasants. Within a few years, the British planters abandoned their estates. कि कुछ सालों के बाद जो ब्रिटिश प्लांटर्स थे उन्होंने अपनी जो एस्टेट्स है, जो जमीन थी उनको छोड़ दिया, and that land was given back to the peasants, the real owners of the land. Indigo sharecropping disappeared, and in this way indigo sharecropping disappeared from Champaran. So it was the combined effort of Mahatma Gandhi, other lawyers and the common people that finally they succeeded in getting out from that miserable condition. Gandhi never contented himself with large political or economic solutions. Writers said that Gandhi never contented. Contented means satisfied himself with large political or economic solutions. It means Gandhiji did not content himself only by doing something politically and for something to uplift the people of India economically. Means political economic सिर्फ चीजों से ही वो सेटिस्फाई नहीं होते थे. He saw the cultural and social backwardness in the Champaran villages and wanted to do something about it immediately. It means he never contented himself with only political and economic issues. Solutions. Not only he gave the solutions of political and economic problems, but he also wanted to do something for the cultural and social backwardness of the people. And at the time he was in Champaran, so he saw that there was cultural and social backwardness in the Champaran villages, and he wanted to stay there and wanted to do something for them. He appealed for teachers, and the main thing was that the people of Champaran villages were illiterate. They did not know about their rights. So the very first thing which Gandhiji wanted to do, to teach them. So he appealed for teachers. Mahadev Desai and Narhari Parikh, two young men who had just joined Gandhi as disciples. Disciples means अनुयायी, students आप कह सकते, followers. And their wives volunteered with the work. And when Gandhiji appealed for teachers, two young men with their wives came there to help Gandhiji. And who were the two young men? Mahadev Desai and Narhari Parikh. Several more came from Bombay, Pune and other distant part of the land. Distant part of the land means different parts of India. So many other people came from Bombay, Pune and some other distant part of India. Devadas, Gandhiji's youngest son, arrived from the ashram and so did Mrs. Gandhi. Means Gandhiji का जो youngest son था, जो देवादास गांधी है, he also came there, and Gandhiji's wife also came to help Gandhi in that matter. Primary schools were opened in 6 villages, and with the help of Gandhiji, with the help of the people who came there to help him, 6 primary schools were opened in villages. Kasturbai taught the ashram rules on personal cleanliness and community sanitation, and Mrs. Gandhi taught the people of villages about the ashram rules on personal cleanliness and sanitation. It means the people of these villages lived in very unhygienic condition. So she taught them the rules of personal cleanliness as well as community sanitation. How important cleanliness and hygiene for all the people. Health conditions were miserable. Gandhi got a doctor to volunteer his services for 6 months, and Gandhi observed that health conditions in the villages were miserable, were very poor. So Gandhiji got a doctor who was willing to give his services for 6 months, free services for 6 months. 3 medicines were available: castor oil, quinine and sulfur ointment. And at that time only 3 medicines were available. And what were they? Castor oil, quinine and sulfur ointment. It means with the help of these 3 medicines, doctor tried to cure almost all the disease. Anybody who showed a coated tongue was given a dose of castor oil. Anybody with malaria fever received quinine plus castor oil. Anybody with skin eruptions, rashes you can say, received ointment plus castor oil. It means with the help of these 3 medicines, doctor tried to secure the people of Champaran. Gandhi noticed the filthy state of women's clothes. He asked Kasturbai to talk to them about it. One woman took Kasturbai into her hut and said, "Look, there is no box or cupboard here for clothes. The sari I was wearing is the only one I have." See beta, Gandhiji noticed the filthy state. Filthy means dirty state of women's clothes. It means women's were very dirty. They wore dirty clothes. So he asked his wife to talk the women about cleanliness. Why they remain dirty? Why they wore dirty clothes? So what happened? One woman took Mrs. Gandhi to her hut and she said that there was no box or other cupboard in her house, and she said that the sari she was wearing was the only one she had. It means the people of Champaran villages were very poor. They did not have basic amenities of life. They lived very miserable life. During his long stay in Champaran, his here refers to Gandhiji. So during his long stay in Champaran, Gandhi kept a long distance watch on the ashram. It means at the time he was in Champaran, but he did not leave his ashram. He had a long distance watch on his ashram as well. He sent regular instructions by mail and asked for financial accounts. It means at the time he was there in Champaran, but he regularly sent instructions by mail and he asked for financial conditions also. Once he wrote to the residents that it was time to fill in the old latrine trenches digs gadhe, and dig new ones, otherwise the old ones would begin to smell bad. It means Gandhiji took all the things very seriously, and with the help of this statement we came to know that Gandhiji looked after each and everything related to ashram. Once he wrote to the residents of ashram that it was time to fill the old latrine trenches and to dig new ones. The Champaran episode was a turning point in Gandhiji's life, a turning point, a point which gives a new direction. So the Champaran episode was a turning point in Gandhiji's life. It means Champaran episode gave a new turn to Gandhiji's life, because when he was there in Champaran, he came to know about the real condition of the Indians. He lived among poor people. He looked everything very minutely. He felt the injustice done by the Britishers. So it was a turning point in Gandhiji's life. It means after that he really decided to do something for their betterment, for their upliftment. What I did, he explained, was a very ordinary thing. And Gandhiji said that what he did at the time, it was very ordinary. It means he did not do any extraordinary work. Whatever he did in Champaran, it was very ordinary. I declared that the British could not order me about in my own country. Means Gandhiji declared that British government could not order him in his own country. It was his country and Britishers were no one to order him in his own country. So as the citizen of India, as an Indian, whatever he did, that was very ordinary. But Champaran did not begin as an act of Defiance. Defiance means opposition. कहते कि जो चंपारण एपिसोड था, it did not begin as an act of defiance. It means he did not want to oppose the Britishers. He did not come there to oppose the authority. It grew out of an attempt to elevate. Elevate means to lessen, कम करना. The distress. Distress means disappointment, misery of large number of poor peasants. It means it grew out of an attempt to lessen the distress of the large number of poor peasants. Means actually whatever he did only to lessen the miseries of the poor peasants, to lessen the disappointment, tortures of the poor peasants. This was the typical Gandhi pattern. His politics were intertwined. Intertwined means twisted, knitted, interconnected with the practical day-to-day problems of the millions. It means his politics, his way of working is connected with the practical day-to-day problems of the millions. Means he did not do anything different. Whatever he did it for the Indian people. He did it to see the problems of the millions, and it would be connected with the practical life of the people. He was not a loyalty to abstractions. Abstractions means something which exists only as an idea. कहते सिर्फ his was not a loyalty to abstraction, कि सिर्फ वो सोचते नहीं थे उसके बारे में, कि सिर्फ दिमाग में कि उनको ऐसा करना है ऐसा करना है. It was a loyalty to living human beings. It means he was not loyal to only his thoughts, but he was loyal to the living human beings. It means his loyalty was for the human beings. He really wanted to do something for the human beings. कि सिर्फ वो बोलते नहीं थे, सिर्फ सोचते नहीं थे, बल्कि he wanted to do something for them. In everything Gandhi did, moreover, he tried to mold a new free India which could stand on his own feet and thus make India free. And writer said that in everything Gandhi did, कि जो भी वो करते थे, he tried to mold means to shape a new free India who could stand on his own feet and thus make India free. Means कि जो भी कुछ करते थे, with the help of that he tried to make a new free Indian. A free Indian who could stand on his own feet, who could raise his own voice against injustice, and thus it would help to make India free. If Indians are free, it would be very easy to get freedom. So he thought so only. Now this is the last paragraph. Early in the Champaran action, Charles Ferrer Andrews, the English pacifist means peacemaker, peace lover, who loves peace, who had become a devoted follower of Mahatma, came to bid Gandhi farewell before going on a tour of duty to the Fiji Islands. And now, early in the Champaran action, it means when Champaran action began, Charles Ferrer Andrews, he was an English pacifist who became a very devoted follower of Mahatma Gandhi. He came to bid farewell to Mahatma Gandhi before he would go on a tour of duty to the Fiji Islands. Gandhiji's lawyer friends thought it would be a good idea for Andrews to stay in Champaran and help them. And when Andrews came there to bid farewell to Mahatma Gandhi, his lawyer friends thought that it would be a great idea, it would be very good for Andrews to stay there in Champaran and help them to fight against the Britishers. It means they wanted Andrews on their side. They wanted that Andrews would stay there and help them in fighting against the British authorities. Andrews was willing if Gandhi agreed, and as Andrew was a devoted follower of Mahatma Gandhi, he was very much impressed with Mahatma Gandhi's work, so he was also willing to stay there if Gandhiji agreed. But Gandhi was vehemently means forcefully opposed. It means Gandhiji did not want Andrew would stay there. He vehemently opposed that. किसको oppose करता है? When Gandhiji's lawyer friends thought it would be good idea for Andrew to stay in Champaran. So, for that Gandhiji opposed. He said, you think that in this unequal fight, it would be helpful if we have an Englishman on our side. Gandhiji said that you means you किसके लिए use हुआ है? उसके lawyer friends है उनके लिए. You think that in this unequal fight, it means whatever the work, whatever the fight they were doing, it was unequal. That was unequal fight between poor peasants and British authorities. So he said that they thought that in that unequal fight, it would be very good idea to have an Englishman on their side. This shows the weakness of your heart. Gandhiji said that if they had an Englishman in their side, then it showed the weakness of their heart. It means British authority might think that Indians would not do anything for themselves. That's why they had an Englishman on their side. So it only showed the weakness of their heart. The cause is just. Just means fair. And you must rely upon yourself to win the battle. And Gandhiji said that the cause is just. It means the cause of fight was just, was fair, was proper. So they must rely upon, they must trust on themselves to win the battle. It was unequal battle between poor and powerful people, between weak and powerful people. So if they really wanted to win that battle, then they must rely upon themselves. कि उनको अपने ऊपर भरोसा रखना पड़ेगा. They should not seek a prop means help in Mr. Andrews because he happens to be an Englishman. And Gandhiji said that because Mr. Andrew was an Englishman, only because of that reason they should not seek a help in him. कि क्योंकि वो एक Englishman है इसलिए वो उसमें help नहीं देख सकते. So Gandhiji did not want to take Andrew's help only because that he was an Englishman. It means he wanted that the Indian people would fight their own battle. No one could help them. He had read our minds correctly. It means when the lawyers made that statement, what they wanted to say, Gandhiji came to know about that. Why they wanted Andrew's help, why they wanted that Andrew would stay in Champaran. Gandhiji came to know. तो इसीलिए वो कह रहे हैं कि he had read our minds correctly, कि उन्होंने हमारे दिमाग को पढ़ लिया था सही से कि हम एक्चुअली क्या चाहते थे. Rajendra Prasad comments, and we had no reply, and at the time they had no reply. Gandhi in this way taught us a lesson in self-reliance. Self-reliance means self-support, independence, you can say. Self-reliance, Indian independence, and help to share croppers were all tied together. It means everything was interconnected. Self-reliance, Indian independence, and help to share croppers all were interconnected. They were same, they were one. So, in this way, beta, we see that how Gandhiji encouraged the Indian people to raise their voice against injustice. So, it was the combined effort of prominent lawyers and the common people that indigo sharecropping disappeared from Champaran. So, this is the end of our chapter, beta. I think you understood it very well. We'll discuss question answers in our next lecture. So, thank you.